Alright, hello everybody. We got everybody here. We're gonna fire up. Hope you're having a good day. Um, oh, people are not able to log in. Hold on. Please hold. Technical difficulties getting people logged in. Alright, still technical difficulties. Yay. Alright, here we are. We got it. Alright, we got everybody in. We're good. We're enjoying having to deal with Microslop. Alright, with all that aside, who can recall what we did last time?
Last time.
Oh, and I still have to get one more thing done. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we argued a hell of a lot about the logistics of a magical city.
Oh my gosh, there was so much arguing. Oh
We were
yeah,
like,
in that store, in the store. Or was it a store? What was it? When me and Zed went outside after arguing with Veldrin because we didn't wait for Veldrin to stay and we just assumed things. Gosh, what was that? What store was it? Oh, we were trading.
equipment.
Vel was getting his equipment fixed, and then there was this whole thing about how to pay for it and offering the mimic. Well, anyway, that's what we thought was something, but it got confusing.
But ultimately the price was too high, yeah, and we didn't end up doing anything with the bag of holding, our special bag of holding.
Yep.
And
Rats.
yep.
Um, Zedrin made mild plans to go thieving later.
Did we actually make it to an inn of some kind?
Not yet.
I
Or
do
we
not
went to
believe
a
so.
bar? I thought we were supposed to like
Yes.
make an entrance somewhere.
We
Maybe
were
that was
heading
the
that way, but we didn't get there. I think we just ended when we were outside of the weapons store.
We had
Is
done
that
one thing
right?
after the weapons store, but I don't remember what.
Was there anything else we did in the town before we got to the weapons store of any Consequence of remembering. I mean, I mostly remember that. Oh, we'll get your notes. Sorry. Let's see.
Get your notes. You find them.
You just got them.
Something
Streets are
about
really
food.
crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we had some fruit dipped in chocolate and caramel and all kinds of yummy. Oh yeah, and the burger. Oh yeah, we had some great street food. That was awesome. Yeah, lots of great street food.
Right,
And
I do. Now I
Codicus getting
remember
his
that.
hammer
Yes.
fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
getting
and we
worked
went to the
on.
artificer. It's called Hammer and Flail.
And I think that Vel is having his crossbow is being worked on, but it's not getting the super magic upgrades, right?
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
No, we were getting the whole shebang.
No, we couldn't afford the upgrade.
No, that he asked the group if it was
That's right.
allowed, and the group was
It was
like,
the whole thing.
"Yeah."
And then it was
That
like,
was
oh, but for 600 back
the
something,
whole
which I
thing
think there
was
was a
with
misunderstanding about what
the whole thing was
actually
It
with
was
was
the
the
supposed to
mimic.
go
mimic.
down. But
We were saying they could look at it and they wanted to have it. They thought they were making a deal that we would give them the mimic and we were just
oh yeah,
Bell was
because it's
making a
worth way
deal
more than
just to
that.
loan it for them to look at. Yeah.
And we were like, no.
No.
Because Belgium was like, that is important to the group. We are not going to get rid of that easily.
Yeah, and then that's what we were all
And
arguing about because Zed and I were like, no, before you even had a chance to answer him.
yeah, you guys jumped in and Belgium was like, I didn't even finish that interaction. You didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
have an
yeah.
idea how that was going to go.
Yeah.
Remember though, too, I think the rule, I think I could be corrected on this, with bags of holding is that all you have to do is like open them and hump them upside down and everything will come out. So anything can be easily found from the bag of holding. Or everything.
Star shot.
Neovara, just to be sure you're in, right? And you've got the images.
I'm sorry, what?
You're in, yeah? You can see the images and everything?
Yes.
Oh good, okay.
Okay. It was gonna be
Has Opal been back
back
at all?
there.
Do I just keep missing her or
Opal
is Opal
plays
coming back?
sometimes.
Oh, plays sometimes.
Okay.
He's going through something right now.
Okay.
All right. So you guys put in the order, paid up, and just then left the shop. And a couple of people were planning on something, or thinking about planning on something. And
Yeah.
the inn seemed like it was also the plan. So
Yes.
Yes.
you were left in the, well, those of you who went outside, which was just about everyone except for I think Feldrin and Kozik. Yeah, it was those two.
Did we ask for a recommendation for an inn to go to? I mean,
Yes,
I know we were asking about artificers, but did we ask about inns?
we asked for both. I think we asked the town's guard actually.
So do we know what we're looking for? What inn? Oh yeah, because they said you want the really expensive place or just a regular. We're like, well, now we have like barely any money left, so I guess we have to go for the cheap place.
We're going cheapo, unless we do a quick job. in in which case,
Well, Sorry
so
has some money that she never put into the thing because she just it never I didn't know about it until later and then I put it in. So Sorry has some money too, like 300 gold pieces, 300 and something. I have to go find it.
so we're low on money. Zedran, you know what low on money means? Low on money means
Time to go.
job.
I have
I
350
don't.
gold pieces.
I have never stolen money from someone else. So sorry. I refuse to let this be impugned on my good nature. Now, if Zedran wants to,
Why don't we just
well, it
get
is my
some work? Do we have to rob from people? Why don't we just
no.
get some work and try to get a job?
We're in probably one of the best places to go find random work.
Yes, good fun work. I think that might be prudent for a host of reasons.
Isn't there, oh, see, wasn't there like someplace? I remember when I first came in and there was kind of not a union, but you know what I mean? Like some kind of place that you could go to try and get work they had them in
A
any
guild.
big town. A guild, that's it, the guild, that's it, thank you. Like we could look for the guild, the Adventurers Guild, and see if there's any jobs.
Yeah, a little bounty board. That could be nice. I'm down for that.
Well, let's find out where the guild is and see what we can come up with.
Well, I also think we should make for the library, wherever that is. And then maybe some work will come our way more naturally.
All right, that sounds good.
Both sound great. Niavara is still writing in her book. She's been writing it both uh, the entire time you guys have been walking through the city. And she's like, at this point, making notes about the people, what people are wearing, types of dress, how they're talking to others.
Yeah.
The library, where in the city would it be? Typically, most of the time, it's usually held close to like houses of worship would be like another a good idea, or university if they have one of those. And a
Right.
town this big usually has one.
It's probably, yeah, I think it was affiliated with a university or something.
Right, it's somewhere
Oh,
near to
see.
where the students drink.
Hmm.
Oh.
Well, somebody remind me what it is we're finally trying to get from this library. I mean,
The
I know we're trying
knowledge
to
of
look
how to
at some
get
astral ships, but
more information about number one, where astral ships come from, and how to traverse in the astral plane safely.
okay, yeah, okay. And there could be
Those
a
two
port
things.
here too for
Hmm.
astral
A
ships. You
port.
never know.
It could
Don't
be. It
you
is a
have
very vertical city.
don't you have that business card from the captain that we met in Grinstall?
Oh Yes. How could I
Might
forget?
Good
might want to pay them a
thinking,
visit.
Ted. That's
And
great
she
thinking.
rifles through her. She puts down her book like into her bag and then rifles through a specific pocket on one of the sides. And in it is like a host of papers and cards that she's kept over the years. And she's like, aha, 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 aha. This
A
guy.
drow Rolodex.
It's not a drow Rolodex. It's
Rolodex.
clearly people that she's stolen, taken information from over the years, people that she's spoken to, and maintaining their other lives for them for a time being.
Well, I guess
Uh,
I would just have to ask somebody about where the library is, and maybe one of these shop owners. Well, maybe the folks in there that are fixing your crossbow veil. Do you want to ask them where we might find the library?
Do you think the library is the first place we should stop?
Well, that's what Kozik suggested, and the idea, I guess, was as we are going towards our main objective, then maybe the other things will fall into place, like work and where we're going to stay, if we aimed at our main objective. That's the impression I got from what Kozik said, and I thought it was a good idea.
so
But yeah,
I
we
can't
could get a
remember what
place
his
too.
out of character. I can't remember what the guy's name was, and I also didn't apparently write it down.
The captain?
But
Captain
yeah,
Yeah,
Hellion
it was a
Marduk.
Marduk. He's a worshiper of the goddess Eladra, and I was maybe a little bit gallivanting as Lady Inanna, a cleric of Our Lady Eladra. So we had some things in common. Um, and was he here? Or was he in a town nearby, or is it just like his family?
From what I remember, he was in Kronossus, um, and because there were two different people that we were kind of like set to go find. He was one of them, just because we happened to meet him in Grinstall, and then the mayor had mentioned a friend of theirs that was in Sorrowwinds, which is kind of a nearby big city as well. I say nearby with air quotes.
It's closer to here than it was to Grunstall. Let's phrase
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that ship captain was here somewhere, and even if we don't find them, I think um, kind of the mention of there being some sort of port or place where these ships are um, going in and out of would probably be a place where Zed would want to check out at some point.
I'm so impressed
Hmm.
with you remembering that stuff said about. Yeah, I'm so impressed.
It's uncanny because haven't taken notes for like 100 episodes.
That's amazing. It just popped up.
So Neofara turns and double checks her appearance as, Lady and Nana in the mirror, and she's like, uh-huh, I
Oh,
think this is
yeah.
correct. This is the woman that he would have met after all.
Right, right.
So I do in fact believe that we should be on our toes. There might be more worshippers of the sovereign here than usual. And fun fact,
Worshippers of the sovereign.
so there are 16 gods and goddesses of the sovereign, and my 6 are not necessarily well liked. We'll phrase it like that.
You're what? What's not well like?
The gods I follow most closely.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
All
so
gods are respected in their own right, but point being, This is important for the facade.
With that being said, Cubed, I guess just kind of painting a little bit of a narrative picture, theater of mind. Um, where where would you say we are right now, or uh, I guess if that's up to us, that's fine. But I'm trying to get a just a picture of the scene around us, like how many people are out, time of day, things like that.
And do you have that city so we could look at it again?
Uh,
Instead of the mountain.
Because Zed would be reacting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that
Cool.
image.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Zed would be reacting to kind of what Neovar is saying and probably adding on to it a little bit. But I'm just kind of curious as to how, I guess, busy the streets are, or are we somewhere that we could kind of huddle up real quick and have it not be, you know, be kind of inconspicuous about it.
About what would
um,
we be
so
inconspicuous about?
think of it as a metropolis. There are buildings
Yeah.
everywhere, way taller than anything that most of you have probably encountered in most of your, well, Kozik probably, because dwarves do like to build
Yeah.
pretty extensive underground kingdoms.
Fortresses. Yeah.
Zed would have because he's been
But
to
not
big
so
cities.
tall.
Yeah, there's depth. Well, I guess technically, if
I
is
don't
it still
know.
tall if you're
I'm thinking about
underground and it's still high up?
yeah, I'm thinking of the mines of Moria, like those huge
Mm-hmm.
caverns with the pillars and
But
Probably
pretty
vast
tall.
underground. Yeah.
Yeah.
whereas you might expect, you know, eventual looking up and into darkness, you're looking up and into sky. Um, but the time of day seems to be around noonish, as you guys had enough time to get in, meander about, and if it wasn't noonish, then it is now.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
And the streets are just littered with people at this point. It is lunch hour, so
Okay.
there's
So
huge amounts of people. It's metropolis population, not metropolis like New York where you're just bumping shoulders constantly, but metropolis as in there's room to walk, there's room for you to have conversation, but it's not like
yeah.
you have to, think like I almost want to say like Tokyo because I've recently watched some people
Mm-hmm.
go around Tokyo. So it's a lot of people, but it's not like shoulder to shoulder,
But it's a
and
big city. So yeah. Okay.
as large as you can tell
Um.
anyway.
So is with that being said, and with Neovara mentioning, you know, kind of being conspicuous, Zed will kind of as we're maybe walking through this maybe market district and there's some shop stalls and stuff and maybe some alleyways between buildings, kind of like halt the group a little bit and kind of like huddle up and lean in, just speaking quietly so that it's just between all of us. Yeah, speaking of that, there are, as you can see, a lot of people in the city, and a few of us, as he kind of looks around the circle, have people actively pursuing us. So,
Oh,
Correct.
got to be a bit careful
right.
who
Right.
we talk to and what we say.
Maybe a
And
little bit
Well,
of disguise.
you could be onto something there as well. But yeah, just got to keep it in mind.
Right.
Don't really know who's watching and who's watching, or rather, who they might know, if that makes sense.
Right. What do you want to use a different name?
well,
I mean,
even if
it's
you just go
easy
by
for
nicknames for the
Niavara,
hard,
but for Zed,
I have to come up with all those names by, happenstance. I'll have you know.
I think it's just something to keep in mind,
Right.
Absolutely.
because obviously anything that we come up, we could plan for everything and still not think of one thing that ends up coming
Right.
up, So let's not get too hung up on it, but just in the back of your minds, who knows who we run across. And I'm not against splitting up because it's a really large city, but if we do, we probably need some sort of means of catching back up with each other
Inter-
or
Well,
communication.
I think maybe it's a good idea to get our lodgings first, because then
Yeah,
if we
you're not
separate,
wrong.
we're just
Got a
meeting
place
back
to
up
go.
at our lodgings. Yeah, why don't we get our lodgings first?
And we can ask the innkeeper or whomever's running where we decide to stay, a bit more about the town, like, getting the location of the library.
Right,
Fuck, a town this big, there might be multiple libraries and multiple different sort
right,
of guilds associated with different things.
right.
Mhm. So let's go to that cheapo inn that was being recommended to us. If we want to change to better lodgings later, we always can.
Do
Hey,
you
fair enough.
remember the name of that the one recommended?
Someone roll history check. Hey,
The first night.
Very
of
nice,
course Valdrin
Veldrin.
remembers.
19. So I'll allow it. So you recall the, in a big city like this, there's a lot of inns, there's a lot of smaller ones, but the ones that um, seem to be the most viable, at least to you in your situations, there was the Elder Scrolls, which is the top tier of the ones that were suggested. The Elder Scrolls. There was the Adventurer's Rest, which was sort of like suggested or hinted at being like a middle tier, your common worker, probably where adventurers go to spend their pro and depending on who you ask, their blood money. If you're the monster, it's blood money. If you're adventurers, it's loot. Um, and then there is the Broken Bottle, known to be in the shady part of town.
Well, I don't very much like the sound of that broken bottle. No, we should go for something a little more befitting our fame, if not our purse strings.
Well, let's go for the Adventurers Rest. That sounds just right in the
Befitting
middle
our
there.
theme.
That sounds great.
I'm for it.
Oh, come now. The adventurous rest sounds fine, but come now, Kozik. Famous hardly. And that's all the better for it. Mind.
Right.
Zed,
We don't
Zed
need
kind of like
people
straightens up
knowing.
and brushes his hair back, and I'm properly ready to present you, sire.
Oh,
Ah, yes. My trusty valet. Thank you very much, Mr. Thatcher. Well, let's see yeah, let's see what happens.
Hey, fuck, we get kicked out of the swanky business and just go over to the adventurer's place, yeah?
oh my God.
Aren't we just
We don't
going to
have
the
the
Adventurers
money.
Rest? I don't think we need to go to the Swanky. We've got no money left. Let's just go to the Adventurers Rest.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just having a laugh.
All right.
Have a laugh. Our expense.
All right. So you start making your way to, well, the Adventurer's Rest, and I'm just gonna say they told you where to go because otherwise it's an arbitrary check. Um,
Okay.
and it's one of those things where it's like, yes, it's a big place, but it's just as easy to just stop somebody real quick and be like, hey, do you know where the Adventurer's Rest is? And you
Yeah.
know, the DC would be so low, it's kind of not even worth wasting the time on a roll. Or congratulations, you got a natural 20, you know where it is. Or I guess a natural one, you could have some fun and get lost. Anyway, either way, that's neither here or there. Um, so as you're walking through Kronossus, this vast, um, very expansive, um, city, not town, not village, not hamlet. This is city. This is metropolis. There's more people here than most of you have ever had to kind of sort of bump shoulders with. And interestingly enough, it is considered to be known as, where a lot of Yuan Ti live, which you do see a lot of them, probably majority of the population, i.e., a little more than half. But you're also very aware that there's other species that intermingle here, um, as with any kind of metropolis. Like you're going to try and bring in commerce, you're going to try and bring in um, tourism because it generates coin, and coin is what makes cities like this run. Um, but with that being said, there is a myriad of different species you come across, some that you probably can't even identify without some proper checking. Like, what the hell is that? Um, but the majority seems to be Yuan Ti, and majority as in like 55%, 60%, give or take, of the people you've come across in this
Are the
district.
Yuan Ti the lizard folk?
The Yuan Ti are humanoid people with reptilian features, very
Right. Okay.
different from Dragonborn.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and you make your way to the Adventurer's Rest, and everybody can give me some perception checks.
Never fails.
Okay. You said perception. Perception.
Yep.
Perception. Brr.
That 28's beautiful.
All right. So, going in order here. So, Niavara, I was a 17? Yeah. Okay. So, Niavar, with your keen eyes, you spot a couple of things. Um, and there's just so much going on right now. There's people talking, walking, trading. There's things flying in the sky, both organic and inorganic. Like it is like going from because the last place you were in was Mox. So going from small town to metropolis. That's like going from, your small town in the middle of nowhere to now you're suddenly in Los Angeles or like San Diego, right? So it to some people it could be a bit overstimulating. Um, However, you do focus on Niavara. So you do look around and you're kind of I'd imagine you're looking for ships. You're looking for maybe some uh, optimal escape routes, quote unquote, for any potential, definitely not nefarious deeds. Um, and you do notice that in some of the alleyways that you pass by, like just out the corner of your eye, you notice like there are people that are kind of sitting, or not really sitting, but like crouched over. They're kind of looking like they're looking at something on the ground. And you can start off with giving me a. This would be a stealth. Because you kind of, or deception, I guess. So it's kind of the idea that They're doing something and they kind of look up as they see you guys passing by, and this is you just being like you don't notice them, like pretending like you don't notice them. I guess that would be deception or performance. Realistically, any way you want to
Yeah.
describe it, whichever you want to use. I can see any of these being applicable.
I think the way that Niavara tends to try to handle someone like trying not to be spotted, right, is to try to just slip away into the background however she can. She has a innate tendency to like try and put herself to the back of a line, up against the wall, make herself smaller if need be, while keeping her eyes and ears open. You know,
Okay. So like basically akin to like a side glance, but not really. You're not like turning your head to look at them and because they're looking at you situation.
yeah, she's like got herself in the book and she's like, she's like paying attention to her book and like seeming like she's reading instead of watching them type of deal. Even though it's the book that she's been writing in.
All right. So
She's dressed up as a fancy lady after all. She's, trying to play a different role.
all right. So you're able to, keep from being detected in quotations. As you notice them, they notice you, you notice them, but they don't seem to react. They're just kind of like watching you go by. Um, well, I guess we can do an insight. Let's do an insight. You think you're pretty
Sure
stealthy
thing.
about it. Let's see if you're like able to, under comprehend. Okay. So, and this is the fun part. All these roles culminate into a story here. So, with your insight, they do indeed notice you, but they don't seem to. It's one of those they don't know that you know they're looking at them kind of situation. And with that perception from before feeding into this insight, they seem to be using some kind of a thieves' cant amongst each other.
The people in the town?
The people in the alleyway that are the people in the alleys that are watching you guys walk by,
Okay.
and that was Niavar's because everybody's perception check is for a separate event. Um, so Niavara, that's what you notice. Um,
Mhm.
what you do with that information will be up
Is
to
she able
you.
to decipher the thieves' cant, or is it just like she can tell it's thieves' cant, but just doesn't? It's like a different form, maybe, or something like that.
So she can tell it's thieves' cant. Um,
Because she knows thieves' cant.
yeah,
Yep, I do.
but there's also
Oh, so
because you guys have also kind of formed your own.
Yeah, that's what
So
I was thinking.
so that's what I was playing off of when I say what's good for the goose
I
is
think
good
that's
for the
cool.
gander.
Yep. I was making that. I was trying to clarify that, just so it's like, yeah, you can
Was
tell.
there any sign like symbols that she recognized, or is it like all just like localisms?
yeah, does she know what they're saying?
Any
Um,
of it, like word or
so
two.
yeah, so double checking one thing in my note. Yeah, because thieves' cant is not necessarily like a universal language per se. Um,
Oh no, 100%.
It's a universal language amongst rogues, but it isn't necessarily meant to be completely mutually understood. There are parts of it that are though.
yeah. But you get the feeling that
Yeah.
they are not they're not signaling to inform you, so you can at least ascertain that. And with your insight check as part of the deciphering, um, I'd say, well, it's such a brief interaction. So you'd pick up just like a second or two of it because like I said, these are people like in alleyways. Um so it kind of seems like they're they think you might be a noble of some kind walking through town. And
Cha-ching.
which is
they seem to
which
be
its own
conveying
kind
that.
of danger.
Right.
Hmm. And Anna looks to Veldrin, right? And sort of like, Sir Veldrin, just calm, collected. Might I add that we might be interested in getting some spider's eyes for tonight's dishes. I've heard that they're a local custom that you're very familiar with. I'm trying to imply to him eyes, eyes, eyes,
All right.
like on us.
Veldrin with his 8.
Oh, Kozak had the 8. Belgian had 22.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
And she's
right.
more
Yeah,
like
yeah,
trying to communicate to him. And
There's eyes on them.
yep, and to theory to Kozik, or not to Kozik, to Zedrin, because I'm sure Zedrin's willing to listen as well. Like Niavara speaks up about something. Oop, oop, oop. But again, she's trying to appear lofty. And she's acting like suddenly much loftier than she had been even moments before.
I'm almost picturing Inanna mentioning this to Vel, and but in some of the mannerisms and movements that Inanna's making, it's kind of using our own form of the kind of signed thieves can't. And even if it's not, it might be just like one motion, just one depicting like one word. Um, but Zed would pick up on it, even if he's not, because we're all doing perception checks. But I'm assuming Zed would pick up on it, even in the corner of his eye, and just be aware of kind of the message that Inanna is trying to convey. That we have eyes on us, which is kind of what we were all talking about before. Is we're in a big city and we need to be aware of our surroundings. So yeah. Anyway.
And
Uh,
that's
what Veldrin was going to say is, where do you think we could find the closest place to get some?
hmm. Well, it's a great question. I'm not as familiar with around here as I would be from the markets of our homeland, but I'm told that there might be an interesting sort of delicacy at the manors. High manners. And she's trying to like find a way around to like try and establish like suspicion about them being high class without directly saying that, hey, they think that we're a bunch of upper like noblemen and we might be about to get our shit robbed.
All right. So, as you contemplate that, Veldrin, with your 22, you have been going through this town. I mean, there's lots of animals, there's lots of people, lots of beasts of burden, lots of flying like birds and what have you, even in a city like this. Um, However, something catches your eye, and it seems a little odd because, like, yeah, you've seen like dogs and cats and stuff running around and weasels and ferrets and all sorts of critters, but they typically don't really seem to either they seem to either not really engage with you or they're already owned by somebody else. So this seems particularly interesting because you notice climbing along one of the walls there appears to be a what looks like a lizard and it seems to have its eyes like locked onto your party as you're
Huh.
walking by one of the buildings, and it just kind of hangs out there, and it's just observing.
Curiouser and curiouser.
But you do notice it.
Veldrin will kind of flick his eyes towards the lizard and be like, I think the dish we're seeking is probably much easier to find than we think.
Huh? You think?
He'll flick his eyes towards the lizard again.
Oh, I see.
Yep, you would see this small like, and it's a tiny lizard, so easily fit in the palm of a hand. But it's just hanging out on the wall, well out of like reach of any weaponry, well out of reach of, I mean, probably not out of reach of any like bows or anything, but well out of like grabbing or touching distance, and it's just there watching. And you know it's watching you because you're seeing its head turn just in tandem as you're walking past this particular building. But unless there's anything you want to do about that.
Hmm.
We seem to be drawing a lot of attention.
Well, it's only natural. We do project a sort of natural nobility. These people can sense that. And look, there's other people of means here.
Well, exactly what's so special about us?
Maybe we have a foreign look about us.
That's true. Sorry, does have pointy ears.
There's a lot of people with pointy ears here.
Oh, okay. I thought they were reptilian.
They're only about 50, 50, 50 to 60% of the population.
Okay.
So there's still a whole
Right.
nother
Probably lots of
40% of,
travelers.
yep, whole lot of different people and creatures and things. All right.
Wait. Okay. You've only done Bell and Yavara. Okay.
Yep. So,
See if we've got a theme.
so for sorry, with your 18, you would pick up on the hint of a elvish cuisine, the scent of it that you
Oh.
have not smelled since your childhood in the Feywild.
Oh, wow.
You're with an 18. It's a decent roll in this situation because the DC is pretty high. It's a pretty high population. Um, so you can ascertain it's somewhat close and probably coming out of like one of the buildings nearby. Um, but a lot of these buildings are doors and shutters closed and windowed, so you can ascertain it's coming from one of the buildings in your immediate vicinity, so probably within 20-30 feet probably. um and you only know that because if it were somebody passing by, then you would have picked up on the aroma and it would have gone, because you're not
Right.
exactly just standing next to people concurrently. um So it's coming from one of the buildings, very close. You're not sure which one. Um, but like I said, it's an aroma that you have not picked up on since being a child in the Feywild. So it has a little bit of
Oh.
a sweetness to it.
Oh my goodness. Do you smell that? Does anybody smell that? Oh, that's incredible.
Nobody has
Oh,
bathed
I
in
Need a
haven't
weeks.
shower?
I haven't smelled that in years. What's that?
I said, "Do I need a shower?" And Zed's kind of smelling himself.
No, mate, no, it's a food smell. And it's something I haven't smelled in like, oh my God, in years since I was a wee child. Just, oh my God. Where is that coming? Does anybody smell that? Do you smell it? Oh, it's delicious. I've
If
got to find
anybody
it.
wants to
Hang
pick
on.
up on that aroma, they can give a perception.
Does anybody smell
Let's see.
it? Nope.
You're talking about
I
good food. Zed's definitely. Yep,
Oh yeah,
and
Zed
that
smells it.
tracks. That tracks. I already have inspiration, by the way. So if anyone doesn't,
Oh, I'd love one.
well, go for it. You smelled it.
Thank you.
And you didn't even dealt it.
Yeah, right.
Just smell it though. Isn't that incredible?
I guess Zed closes his eyes, and it's kind of one of those moments where just he's focusing, uh, kind of loses track of all the murmurs and voices around him, and just takes a big, slow, um, methodical sort of deep breath with his nose, and probably like at the peak of filling his lungs, he just opens his eyes very wide. Oh boy, what is that? Sorry, we
It?
gotta find that.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I haven't smelled that in years. It's got to be one of these buildings right around here.
What is it? Sorry, it smells. There's so much to it.
Oh, it's just, isn't that brilliant? It's just fantastic. I've got to find it. I'm gonna just don't get lost. I just have to go and check in this building. I'm going to check.
And sorry, you can give me a history check.
Okay.
If you can recall the dish that has triggered memories. It's not bad. So 13. Um, you know it's one of a few dishes. Um, the Feywild has a way of reiterating upon itself very often. something new, something different. But at the core, the very essence of it, you know this is a pastry. Um, it's a sweet pastry. It's uh there's different fruit that is used with it to give it a different flavor. So they might add orange to use the zest to give it a zesty undertaste, or they might use um like a strawberry to enhance the aromatics a little bit more, or just it, there's a fruit for every version of this, and they all come out very different despite every other ingredient being the exact same thing. It is
Hmm.
the essence of the fruit that is put into it. And you kind of know there's a little bit of magic that gets added to it. There's a little bit of a person's own personality that goes into this, which is why it's so customized. It's so uh, different across everybody who makes it. And
Right.
you get the feeling that whoever's making this is and this is almost like a to some degree a language of the Fae in itself, where
Yeah.
this person they're putting themselves so much into this that you being able to smell it and it's smelling as good as it does means that they are extremely passionate about it. This is like the passion comes out in the aromatics of it. So you can only imagine what the pastry would taste like when somebody pours that much heart and soul into this
Oh
dish.
yeah. Oh yeah. I don't remember the name, but oh my God, it's a delicious pastry. We've got to find it. There's got to be a bakery or something right around here. That's incredible.
Well,
I've not. This is a good. This is a good cook. This is a good baker. Oh, they really know we've got to find it, Zed. So sorry starts kind of just wandering from door to door, just like sniffing, just like, where is it? Where is it? And kind of following her nose, trying to find which doorway goes into the kitchen. And
all right. So upon immediate glance, there doesn't appear to be a bakery or a shop nearby, but you know that it is nearby. Um, so
so it could be
give
someone's
me.
home.
It's definitely gonna be someone's home. You don't see any bakeries.
Hey,
Um,
right.
so give me a perception to see if you can narrow down
Hey.
which homestead this would be.
Oh,
And you were
gotta be.
pretty quick to ascertain. You go like from one building, you kind of sniff, sniff, sniff. People might be looking at you a little weird, kind of doing like a double take, but kind of continuing forward. And some people do like the side eye, like, what is this lady doing? But they just kind of keep going because it is city life after all. Um, and so you go to the first building and you get a whiff, and it's like, let me check the second building. And then you go over a building, and it's like it's strong here. And then you go to the third. Well, you're able to pinpoint which which of the residentials it is in.
Okay, yeah. Oh, it's in. Oh, it's right here. It's somebody in this building is baking the most
Mm.
beautiful pastries I've ever smelled. That's incredible. Uh, I wonder if I should. I've got to go find it, but I suppose it's not the best idea to just go about knocking on people's doors. But I feel like I
No.
really got to find this.
Do you though?
Oh, but do you smell it? I mean, you've just after you smell that, you've just got to put it in your mouth. Do you smell it?
No.
Oh my god, I've just got to have a bite. Just a bite.
Girly pop, with all the love in the world. You're either gonna look like a freak, in which case just knock on the door, or you can not look like a freak and we can keep going.
Well, not that I'm too concerned about looking like a freak, but I just don't want to be rude and disrupt somebody. But let me just take another good whiff of that. That's like childhood just rushing back up at me. It's like, oh my goodness. I've not smelled that in so long. Like, who could that be? It's not just some random person that's baking these pastries. If they're from the Feywild, they can't be baking something that's got that amazing of a smell if they're not from the Feywild. Like somebody from home is close by.
Well, maybe they'd like to make a sale. I'd like to try some of this pie, although or whatever it is. Although I can't really smell it. But
Okay, I
yeah,
don't
and
mind
maybe
knocking.
one of your cousins maybe that we find will be able to tell us maybe something more about the city. We'll get the inside scoop.
Oh, that's great. All right, I'm gonna knock on the a door and see what happens.
All right, we'll
I
back you
think it
up.
right.
I'm going
So
Wait,
how
wait,
to
do
wait,
remain
wait,
in the
wait, wait,
back.
wait, wait. Wait, is there some sort of like special? You know how might not know this actually. It's occurring to me that this is knowledge that I might possess exclusively. But if you got like a friend, we used to live on a ship, you know, and so if someone was gonna try and get my attention, wake me up in my cabin or whatnot, instead of just pounding on the door, they give like a special knock, so I know who it was.
right?
And then sometimes if it's just a regular knock, I just pretend I didn't hear it. But as I not being a denizen of the Feywild, but is there something like, is there some sort of like special knock that you got?
Well, I mean, not something that like everybody would know, you
Oh,
know.
right. But I mean, but like one that you do to where someone hears it, and even if they don't recognize it, they're like, oh, there's something special to that. Who's that knocking on my door like that?
Well, sure, yeah, I've got a little
You know,
rhythmic little knock I could
put a little
put
ditty
on
on
the
the door.
door. Yeah, I could do a little ditty on the door.
So you do a ditty on the door?
Yeah, you didn't hear it?
Not really. Um.
Oh,
Oh,
So
did you actually do one? No, we didn't.
yeah. Oh well. Okay.
you knock on the door, and you hear some footsteps inside, and only a few seconds pass, and you hear the footsteps come to a stop, and there's a pause.
All right. I'm gonna try it again.
Who is it?
Uh, well, I'm really sorry if I'm bothering you, but I've just
She
caught
is. Sorry.
a
Sorry.
yeah, right. I've just caught a whiff of what you're baking there, and it's reminding me of home. And I was just wondering if you might be from the Feywild. My name is Sari.
So you hear like some locks being disengaged. Never can be too safe in a big city like this. Could be thieves abound right outside your door or something. Um, and you see a what looks like a they have it's definitely humanoid. Um and it kind of looks like they have like a hood on, just to sort of obscure features, I guess. Um but as soon as the door opens, the smell wafts out. Anybody who's standing next to the door could will be able to pick up on it at this point. And um yes.
Oh,
Can I
just
help
for a
you?
minute, I close my eyes and just breathe in the smell. Just like, oh, oh, madam, it's just the smell of my childhood you've got there. What are you cooking? I'm so
Uh,
sorry to bother you. I don't mean to. I'm so sorry. I'm just I'm overtaken by the just amazing smell coming from your house and how it reminds me of my childhood. And I'm just wondering if you're from the Feywild.
Um, there's definitely some apprehension. Um,
But I don't mean to pry. I don't mean to pry. I just you don't have to share anything you don't want. I just that the I don't know what you're baking, but that just smells amazing. And uh, would you be willing to sell us some of it, or I don't know. I just had to smell it. I'm sorry, so sorry to bother you.
um, w- uh, shoot, yeah. No, they're completely just like, just, they're a bit taken aback, right? Like somebody knocked on their door. They're like, "Hey, are you from the Feywild? Your food smells delicious.
Right,
Can I have some?" So just
right.
kind of imagining somebody in
Zed,
on the receiving end of that, just being a little off put, a little apprehensive, like, uh, what?
I
They're
think
just like they
Zed
don't know
kind of
what's going on.
standing next to Sari at the door. He bows very graciously. I do apologize, ma'am. We're very new here in town, and my friend, we're adventurers. She just got a glimpse of home, and it's none of our business, but we just wanted to come say hello and at the least give our appreciation to the wondrous smells that you're providing for this well town that's very new to us.
Right, that's it. It smells absolutely incredible. Just want to thank you for such a delicious, delicious smell coming out of your house. It just stopped us in our tracks. I just want to thank you for that.
So one of the
And I,
two of you can give a persuasion, and
uh,
it could be aided.
Go ahead,
you
Zed.
want to? Okay, yeah. So Zed's gonna kind of like just keep going on like compliments to the chef sort of thing and trying to make it not awkward.
Oh, yeah. I knew you were going to do a good roll. That's awesome.
And well, hey, thank you. And yes, I am from the wilds.
Well, maybe my name's Zed Thatcher, and as Sorry's introduced herself, this is Sorry. Um, like I said, we're brand new around here, and to be completely honest, whatever you're making was the most familiar thing that we've come across yet. So I didn't mean to impose or get into your business in any way, but um, almost just felt inclined to say hello. And if if you've got any time, would you be able to maybe point us in some direction of maybe what was it? The and he points to Sari, uh, asking about like the inn that we were looking for and stuff like that.
All right, the adventurers rest.
Oh, and it seems like their demeanor is they're warming up to you guys. They're definitely feeling a little bit less awkward, a little bit less like apprehensive, less ready to just jump back into their house and slam the door. Uh, yes, the adventurers rest that, and they just kind of point down the street. If you keep going that way, there should be signs that should guide you there. Welcome to Kronossus, and thank you for the compliments. Um, it's kind of breath of fresh air to see someone from the wilds that appreciates fairy bell pies as much as I do.
Oh, fairy bill pies, that's right. I couldn't for the life of me remember the name. Fairy bell pie, that's it. Oh, madam, they smell absolutely incredible. How long have you been here from the Feywild?
Um, 70 years?
Oh, wow, it's been a while. Eh? Well, you're keeping home alive with your cooking. That's clear. That's just beautiful.
Right.
Made right choices to leave when you did. And Anna will say
Hey,
from the back.
what'd you say?
She made the right choice to leave when she did. What did make you leave?
What, did something happen?
Depends. What made you leave?
Oh, I
And
left.
again,
I left because I heard there was a whole another world to explore.
a wise way of looking at things. What sort of fae is she? Can Niavara tell?
So she's definitely
Or is she an
keeping
elf?
like her the hood over her head. But you can give me a perception. She's definitely intentionally keeping like features pretty covered up.
Ask your name, madam.
Perception.
Baby. Ow! Nice.
Inspiration marked.
Nice.
Mirabelle,
Oh, what a lovely name. That's lovely.
and with your natural 20 on perception, you were able to see, even though they're trying to keep their features for the most part obscured, the robe on, the cloak over their head, almost like somebody took like a blanket real quick and threw it over themselves to, you know, safety.
Because some rando stranger was knocking on the door.
Yeah, talking about sniffing pies and telling me, oh yeah, it's from home, because that's never happened in the last 70 years. Um, you would notice without a doubt, without without any benefit of the doubt, that this is a crap. I just had it. Um, spring eladrin. You'd see like a
Inanna,
feather poke out here or there, not a feather, a leaf poke out here or there. Like the tone of the coloration of their hair is very um lively, very very green. Their skin tone is kind of like a planty, earthy green.
You said spring eladrin?
Yep.
mhm. Inanna lets a set of frost play across her cheeks as she's like, "Oh, sister, there you are. I recognize you." Inanna is in fact pretending to be a winter Eladrin.
Ah, okay.
It depends on how close you were to the lady's court.
Um. Well, none of them, because I'm not there anymore.
Well, then I doubt that you have much to worry about in terms of what's happened of late.
Oh, did something happen recently? I've been gone
Yes,
for a very long
much.
time.
Oh, yes. The courts are at like a deep war at this point. Such at this point that random archfey are beginning to create their own. Away from King Oberon. Can you imagine?
Mm.
Oh, what
Zed kind of
happened?
stretches and like pops his back a little bit, just like leans from one side to another. Aye, but honestly, politics are not really your business. And he
Well,
looks over at Niavara
it's good to
with a
know
glance.
what's going on
Like,
back at
dude.
home. I may not
Well,
be in the court,
how
but
about
it doesn't mean they're not technically family there.
exactly? Exactly. Um, I can talk about it with you for a second, but you know, and she sort of glances about, puts her own hood up. I look elf enough for most people that I usually don't bother. But if we're going to talk Fae business, can we come inside? Would you allow us? My name is Anana Yule, by the
She
way.
she kind of like pokes her head out the door and looks left and looks right, and then exhales and then opens. You hear a couple more locks disengage. Well, if you were vampires, you'd have been roasted alive in the sun. So, and then she opens the door.
Darling
Zed's just like,
vampires.
what?
Now, will have to ask about where you heard that dastardly story. The Unseelie must have been playing quite the cruel trick on you to make you believe such a thing.
Oh, vampires do exist. I read it in the tomes.
They do exist, but hardly within places such as this. And even still, they rarely go after beings like us.
Well, I mean, never know.
But you never know. But yes, let me talk. Much has happened. I have ran into a quite the daring Archfey attempting to lead her own version of a non-court.
Right,
Oh,
I'm gonna stick outside. Um, um, but holler if you need me,
You,
because I don't know a whole
you
lot
don't want
about all that. And then as
you
he's
don't want
saying this,
But won't it
he's
draw more attention to you if you stay outside? It might be best if we're all inside so we don't draw attention to her door.
oh no, I'll just mingle. I do my best to blend in. And as Zed's saying this, he is signing in thieves' cant to Niavara, and basically saying, "Remember, don't know who knows who."
And Anna doesn't trust most Fae as far as she can throw them. She's doing this as a favor to Sorry, to slip them in, to get them
Yeah,
pie without
it's
looking like freaks.
it's Zed. Yeah, Zed's just being. He's got suspicions kind
Other
of like on
things.
high alert, but he's gonna stay outside. He'll kind of like roam around a little bit, but stay within eye line of this place. He's not just gonna like camp out outside.
Right, right.
But yeah, he's just gonna mosey around.
All
In
right.
the tomes. Let's find out. Pie time.
So it sounds like Niavara is going in, Sari's going in. Is Veldrin also following inside or doing something else?
He'll go inside.
Veldrin's going in. What about
I'm
Kozik?
I'm staying outside.
All right.
Staying outside.
Kozik and
I
Zed
guess you can't
outside.
even smell it, so you don't even care if you have any.
At this point, good point. So as Zed's kind of nods to was it Maribel?
Yeah.
I
Mirabelle
appreciate
with an
your
I.
okay. I appreciate your hospitality. I'm not going to impose. It's three's company, as they say. So I'll just be around about here, and he'll kind of bow, and then probably noticing Kozik is standing next to him. I'm assuming that Zed and Kozik will just walk around and do something.
Mess about.
Yeah, we'll keep a watch on the front door. We'll just kind of look around, see what the shops are doing.
All right. So you guys go in. You guys stay out. So Kozik, so you're meandering about with Zed at this point, taking in the sights.
Yeah,
All right. Perception of 10. Damn. He's the noble.
definitely.
All right. Yeah. So you're just sort of walking around town, not necessarily in a very. Sounds like you're trying to keep like a little bit of a radius, not necessarily going too far, just continuing on, but not just standing in front of the door. So I meant imagine, maybe a couple of block radius or something like that. Um, which the blocks are very long. But either way.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of it's first time we've been here, so we're kind of perusing. If this is a residential district, then obviously not being too nosy. Um, but if there's market stalls or maybe locals that are just kind of walking around, like Zed is not shy. He'll just talk to anyone. So kind of want to keep in a relative close distance to this place, but not make it seem like we're guarding the front door. And kind of curiosity is prevailing a bit as well. I think both of us are probably you know wondering about this brand new place that we've been to, or that we've never been to. Um, and Zed also in this moment, as maybe we're maybe walking around or whatnot, uh, he'll uh, kind of like lean over to Kozik. I mate, I've got an idea about maybe making some coin that could be a bit of fun.
Of course you do. Well, yeah, let's see what you've got going on. Lay it on me.
So my thought was, and he pulls out from a coat pocket the this
19,
illustrious deck of cards that he has.
D20.
And it's somewhere in my inventory. There we go. And it doesn't look like, it's like a magician's deck, if you will. It just looks super fancy. It's gilded. He's like, oh, what if we set up somewhere? Like we were talking about going to the Adventurers Guild. Adventurers typically have a bit of coin in their pocket, right? Or I could set up in a different place over by the other swanky inn. My thought process was you know, do some sort of sleight of hand, and he takes a card out and is like flips a card from one hand to the other and is kind of displaying just some sleight of hand, and either we could work for tips or actually put a bit of gambling on it.
It's so
And
funny he's bringing this up because
well,
that was his check.
I'm
He
pretty
doesn't
sure
even
I
know
could
it
figure
yet.
out a way to where we won't lose.
Gambling.
That sounds good. I mean, yeah, some of the more well-heeled residents of this large city probably have a little bit more money in their pocket than, well, people down by, what was it, the Broken Bottle? I don't think we'd like to go down there.
I feel like the broken bottle's just going to get us into a lot of fights.
Whereas the Elder Scrolls, or perhaps the Adventure Zone, or whatever it's called, yes, yes.
Yeah, my thought process was
Let's give it a
maybe
try.
like depending on how the places are set up, I could maybe get like a little stall on a market street or whatnot. But if the places allow it, let's say we go to the Elder Scrolls and there's this, the bar, and a lot of people are trying to have some fun, and maybe we get a table in there and um trying to organize some attention to it, and
It's just a little card game. No
yeah,
big deal.
that's it. Or even if it's not like specifically just because I know that I made the promise that I'd give up gambling, and I've not really gotten an itch since we've gotten here, but my brain's thinking in a different way. I could maybe do it more like entertainment. Like I
Safer
show
angle,
you all the
perhaps.
cards, and if I could guess your card, you put a coin down, you know,
Absolutely.
little sort of magic games or whatnot. And
Just a
he's gonna
game. I
kind of,
think they call it a shill. Maybe I can be your shill.
well, yeah. And as you say that, the Zed's Raven is gonna kind of like jump off of his shoulder and fly around and just kind of swoop a little bit and then land on your shoulder. And then you kind of feel a tug on your other shoulder as Zed's mage hand becomes visible. I'm pretty sure we got a lot of shells. Uh,
Oh, you never
we
cease
could
to
figure
amaze
something
me.
out to make some coin. Yeah, and that's entertaining for everyone.
We have a lot of resources at our disposal. Interesting.
Anyway, it's just thoughts, mate. As Kozig and Zed are just kind of like meandering about.
In Kozik, roll me a d20.
$12.
10, 12. Okay. Oop. All right. So, yeah, you started having this conversation. Um, and you know you're walking past, you walking by a bunch of people. It's just that time of day. Um, and you know, at one point, somebody seems to be like in a hurry. They have like a bunch of papers in their hands. Um, kind of kind of looks like they're papers. They have a bunch of scrolls like in their arms. Like they look like they're carrying like some the equivalent of like grocery bags, and they're just walking and walking, and they seem to not really notice you. I mean, on account of their eyes are focused on the horizon, not necessarily you. And they just sort of bump into you, and all of their stuff just gets scattered everywhere, like the papers or the parchment all over the floor. The bag of groceries gets strewn about. There's like fruits that roll out, and
Oof. Watch where you're
oh,
going. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh,
Come on. And I
oh, apologies. Sorry. And you notice as you're, as this just sort of comes out of nowhere, it seems like, um, you notice a human. Yes, human. Just a human, like short. It looks like short cut hair, um, brown eyes, black hair, pretty common looking clothing, and they just kind of stumble as they drop everything, and they kind of look around. It looks like they have some glasses on, and they like pick them up and put them back on and adjust them. Oh, terribly sorry, sir.
sorry about that. My fault completely, old boy. Here, let me help you pick that stuff up.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Zed's sorry.
And they go to work collecting all the splayed out goods.
In this immediate moment, Zed's reaction, instead of bending down to help pick things up and things like that, um, his suspicions.
Get that wallet.
Yeah, he's been part of ploys his entire life. Can I insight check maybe, or see if in some way this is a scheme?
Yeah, give me an insight.
Hmm, it's a 6. Actually,
Oh,
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
there you go.
Fuck. Well, that's a 10. Better.
Use my inspiration, Zed.
Are you sure?
Is this? I'm sorry, I was kind of getting sleepy. What are you trying to figure out? An
So
insight check
Zed,
about?
we got Kozik and Zed are walking around outside, and we were just kind of having a conversation, a little bit candidly about how Zed could maybe set up as like a street entertainer, and then someone just kind of like bumped into Kozik and dropped a bunch of stuff, and Zed's initial reaction being a bit of a, he's an orphan street urchin, has done a lot of things to get food and coin. uh his immediate reaction is thinking that this is maybe a ploy. So instead
Uh
of
huh.
trying to just bend down and help pick things up, he's um a bit on guard, thinking that either this person is going to try and swipe something from Kozik, or someone else is, while we're distracted. um so that was kind of the intention there.
Uh huh. So do you
Yeah,
think it's
watch
important?
what happens.
Should we use it up? Should we use the insight check
Uh,
on it?
I rolled a 10. I will say this, and I guess this is maybe a question for Cubed. If if sorry gives me inspiration, can I then also opt to use luck to get advantage?
Nope, because luck
Okay.
is something that it's usually before, like when you're making the
Yeah.
first roll.
Mhm. Okay, cool. So yeah,
That's it.
I'm fine. Zed's got his suspicions, so regardless of what happens, I'm rolling like mentally in character. He's still suspicious, I would
Uh-huh.
assume, unless Cube says otherwise. But yeah, I guess let's just go with the 10, see what happens.
Okay.
All right. So you're just sort of sitting there watching Kozik help this person pick up their stuff.
If in the moment he doesn't get a an inkling, he would then start to help pick things up. Like if he doesn't get any sort of heightened suspicion or any other clues, um, I guess narratively he probably just took an extra uh, like beat to try and assess the situation. Be like, does this feel funny? And if with a 10, if nothing changes, he would, yeah, he'd lean down and start picking things up
So,
as
and
well.
then in this circumstance, right, the there's is the immediate thought like, what if this is a ploy? But then you also think this person also has a lot of stuff on them to risk getting caught and losing their stuff, right? They had a stack of papers, they had a grocery bag full of like fruit. So it would
Hmm.
they'd be they'd be like investing a lot in potentially getting caught.
It doesn't seem like random stuff that you could just, yeah. Because again,
I
with
thought
his,
I thought Zed was gonna go to work on this guy while I was trying to help him, and then I'm like, wait, I could be pickpocketed? Oh no.
yeah, I think Zed's aware, especially from the conversations that we had, well, not conversations per se, but um, information relayed that we've already got eyes on us. He had already mentioned that it's a big city and we got to be careful. His main objective right now is trying to be inconspicuous and kind of lay low. And then when things like this happen to people that are trying to, not get attention, that already have attention, his brain's just spiking. He's just like, this feels like a job, maybe. Um, but he's going with it. And he's gonna be next to Kozik. He's there, so he's willing, or not willing, but he's like ready for whatever. Um, but to that point, Cubed probably drops his guard a little bit toward this person. Isn't suspicious that this just kind of seems like it's a random interaction in a big city. They were in a hurry. Um, but
That's
as
how
we're
Kozik
picking thing,
that's
go
how
ahead.
Kozik is playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, as we're picking things up, like Zed skipped a little bit of a beat, but he doesn't get the sense that he was feeling. So he's kind of bent down. He's, sorry about that. We're new here. Um, my name's Zed. What's yours? As kind of like we're collecting items.
Oh, terribly sorry. The name's Tolman.
Tolman.
Yes, yes. Pleasure to meet you. It's pleasure to as he's like scooping up paperwork.
And Zed'll do like a quick look left and right. Um, partially to see if anyone else is paying attention to this. Um, you know how sometimes stuff like this happens and then people immediately in the vicinity just kind of go about their way. He's kind of scanning real quick just to see if anyone is like actively watching them. But also, Oh, you didn't want to miss any of your other papers. We got them all. Yeah.
Well, that one, and as he points to it, like the wind catches it and it gets blown off into the distance
How far away is it?
in the air.
Is it
Uh,
within 30 feet? Can
Oh
I
yeah,
mage
it's
hand it?
yeah.
So all of a sudden, um, Zed's not going to, as, was it Talbuk?
Tolman.
Tolman.
Tolman?
T-O
Tolman.
toll, like the bell toll, Tolman.
Okay. So as Tolman kind of says that and points, um, Zed will look up and almost instinctively deter his attention back to the things that we're picking up, but the paper will get snatched by his mage hand, which would be invisible, and for whatever reason, just kind of stop in midair, and without trying to make too big of a scene, it will just fall to the ground. So the mage hand will just kind of like bring it to the ground and hold it
All right.
as Zed's, collecting other things and
Totally
like so.
unrelated
So
question.
Mhm.
What Kozik, what do you have on you that's not in the mimic? Is everything in the mimic?
Oh no, I mean, I I don't really have any of my personal stuff in there.
Okay. Totally unrelated.
I guess if you're seeing my inventory, that's what's on my person in my Backum pack, whatever it is, but not in the mimic.
Okay. And totally also unrelated. Roll me another d20 minus 1. So just roll a d20, we'll subtract 1. 6.
Oh, good. Lower's better.
1, 2.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I know it.
Oh no. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that's the number was designated. Oh, that sucks. Alright. So yeah, you managed to help this guy get all of his paperwork secured and get the fruit back in the bag, like the guy's oranges. They're a little dusty, but a little dirt covered, but you know, placed in the bag, and he bows and thanks you. I'm terribly late for my meeting. Um, thank you so much.
Oh, oh, sure.
Oh no.
Is he taking off? Like he's leaving?
Yeah, he's on his way to his meeting.
Like, it's too bad. I mean, he had scrolls. I didn't get a chance to get a look at them, but I don't know,
He,
maybe he knew where a library was, or I don't know, maybe he's just a merchant of some kind. Nice
so
guy though, nice guy.
he left in such a hurry, the one scroll that the mage hand was holding down got left behind.
Nice. I was just wondering about that. So Kozik's saying that, and then as Kozik's saying that, we're kind of probably maybe dusting ourselves off and standing up and having a conversation, and this scroll just floats up in between the two of us. Hey, well, it looks like he may have forgotten one. Should we chase him down?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. I mean, he might need this. What's it
Hmm.
look like, by the way?
It's
What's on it?
it's completely blank.
Huh?
You like I'd say the scroll was like not really sealed, just kind of like wrapped, like if you were just taking some paper and just like rolling it up so you can carry it so it's not just easily torn. Yeah, you unravel it and there's nothing written on it. Blank scroll.
Well, I mean, paper is valuable. Maybe he wants it back. We should probably go find him.
If he just ran off, can I send my raven up with the intention of tracking him?
You can always try.
Okay.
You will be
And
able to do so.
and do we still have an eyesight on this guy? Because this has been
Oh no.
moments.
This is like I said, it is still a lot of people here. So
Right.
they don't have to
Okay.
go very far to get lost in the crowd.
We have a direction at least.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Zed will send his raven up with the intention of trying to have eyes on this person, and um
Well, let's
he'll
have
hand the scroll to Kozik.
Okay.
I'm not really sort of like that magical. It looks blank, but I don't know, mate. You you cast a lot of spells. Does it feel magical? Does it just feel like parchment?
Let me reach out with my feelings here. And I kind of take a long, hard look at it and think about it magically, and I cast detect magic.
all right. So 1 round. Um it is not magical. But there are plenty of other magical things around on people, on buildings. This is a pretty high magic place. It's all
But
about you within 30
alas,
feet, but this paper is
but
not.
alas, Mr. Thatcher, this paper is conspicuously not magical. I think it's just a blank page.
Oh, maybe that's why he left it behind. He just doesn't need it. And he's gonna kind of look at this point off to the. It was noon when we got here. It's probably, I don't know, been at least an hour or so since we've been kind of traveling through the town and things like that. So it's afternoon, kind of getting into the grand schemes of midday, and just seeing the crowd of people. Zed will probably stand up straight a little bit. Oh, well, maybe we don't chase after him and we just stick around here for a bit and just see what everyone else gets up to. We do, after all, still need to get to the Adventurers Guild and try and
Yeah,
procure a room.
I suppose you're right. Yeah, we can't get too far afield here. I guess good old Mr. Tolman will just have to do without this piece of paper, and I roll it up and put it in my backpack. Because I guess in character, I'm not really suspicious at all. I really so.
Yeah, I feel like both of us just are like, yeah, it was just extra parchment that they had. Maybe it was a spell scroll meant to be, but is just paper. Um, and and yeah, just kind of probably taking in the sights. Maybe given that Kozik has had so much experience underground, but being in a big city like this, Zed's probably asking Kozik about like architecture and things like that because he's used to just being on a ship out at sea. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of picture Zed and Kozik are just killing time, just enjoying the city.
Yep.
And then
So,
as it fades out to someone else, I'm going, it's mostly stone here, you see, not like the wooden structures of the port cities you're used to. Nerp, 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 nerp.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
and Zed rolled a got 15 perception. All right, so Zed, for your perception check that you did, after this, this short interruption, um, you, as you were doing, kind of meandering about, uh, you get a very faint but distinct um, sound that permeates your keen ears, and it sounds like coin clinking and laughter coming from a building nearby. And I'd say the acrid aroma of smoke coming out of a building too. As you would notice, so a couple of somewhat shady looking fellows standing outside of a quote unquote residence. They're having a conversation, but they seem to, at least to you and your profession, they seem to stand out. And it kind of looks like they have a brief conversation, and one of them walks in, and the other one just kind of goes back outside and leans against the wall and lights up a, a s- a fine cigar. And then eventually walks in also.
So as Kozik and Zed are kind of like moseying around, Kozik would probably notice eventually Zed's maybe like mid sentence and just almost kind of like trails off, and his attention just turns down an alleyway that's dark lit. It's middle of the day, but these buildings are so large. Um, it's just casting shadow through this entire alleyway. And there's maybe a few different doors, but there was like one door where there was someone that had kind of just lit up a cigar, and maybe as Kozik is noticing Zed's attention turn, sees that individual go inside, and then notices Zed just kind of stops in his tracks and stops mid sentence.
Hey, what's that? What's
Kind of
something up?
Zed kind of like reaches up and oh he's got like he's kind of like doing the weird sort of like collar pull, just fixing his clothes a little bit, and you might see a kind of a bead of sweat on his forehead. Oh, fuck, mate. And completely turns around, back facing this alley, and then he puts both hands on one hand on either shoulder of Kozik and looks at him. I've not done this in quite a while, mate, but I believe that we need some coin. And he kind of like pats one
Yeah.
shoulder and then releases his hands and kind of like puts him out to his side as almost like a shrug, like, huh? Like, I know he said I wouldn't gamble, but eh?
Well, I can see how serious you are, Mr. Thatcher, and well,
For the good
I
of the
wouldn't get in the
kingdom,
way of that.
I gamble for the party, not for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see
He's trying
that
to
this
be
is
noble about it.
yes, this is well, if there's any horse that I would back, it would be your horse. So yeah, let's see what's happening down here. I too hear the clinkety clank of coin on concrete tables too.
I think he'll kind of look over. So we've been walking around, and this is, I'm assuming, the entryway to this alley. He'll kind of stand up and look a bit like around the corner, um, how far roughly would you say we are from this house that everyone else in the party is in?
About 20 feet. Well, I mean,
Okay.
from everybody else, or because the alley. So looking down the alley where these
Just
people
from where we're
disappeared into.
standing, because
Okay.
that's a ways down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So from where you're standing to where those people walked into the door, about 20 feet. So a pretty
No,
decent distance from where
No, he
from the
means
what
alley.
from
about
us,
Oh,
the
from
house with
from
that
Mirabelle's
the
house.
rest of the party's in? Yeah. Can we?
you
Because
guys are
we
like
wanted to
down the
still kind
block,
of keep. That's what I pictured. Okay, so we can see it, but we're a ways away.
like
Like
Would
half a
you
block, maybe.
imagine?
the blocks are very large. So, but it's a block.
Because the intention was to
Yes.
keep in eyesight of it, but obviously the blocks are huge, so it's like we might be able to see. We could maybe be 100 feet away, and there's people between us and things like that, but still have like some sort of reference of that's where everyone else is.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All I wanted to know. Um. So yeah,
Pretty far. Pretty.
Kozik maybe sees this stir in Zed that he's not seen in a while. Um, there's been multiple occasions where Zed's kind of passed up gambling, or it seems like his priorities and intentions have turned a little bit. But being in this big city and kind of being in this environment, I feel like has maybe brought a little bit of old habits out. Um,
Uh-oh.
I
and
remember
so
days of yore in Grenstall when
yeah,
coin was at the front of
it
Zed's
was the
mind. So
only exactly. So Kozik has seen this before, and I think Zed in this moment right here is like Zed being on the fence, just walking a wire and being like, I know what I want to do, and if you're cool with it, as long as you're with me, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like
we've got a chance. We've got a chance.
then yeah, you could if it gets too bad, Kozik's obviously gonna
Pull
pull
him
Zed
out.
out of there. But this is yeah,
And don't
that
worry,
sort of
Mr.
moment.
Thatcher. I've got some a little personal coin of mine stashed away. I can stake you. Don't worry about it. I believe in you.
Nice.
Um he's so at this point in time, Zed's got little one on his shoulder and the raven's flying about. I guess the raven was flying around just in the city still trying to trail this guy. Um he'd look at Kozik, he's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. And he'll blink a
After
couple
you.
times and you'll see his eyes go starry. Uh and that's him recalling the raven back to his shoulder. And then he'll blink a couple other times. No, I thought maybe I'd send little one to go protect the rest of the party, but you're grown up faster than I think. Maybe I don't know, maybe you should be around for some of this stuff. We'll see.
Yay, poison.
Don't poison anyone. Okay, we gotta be careful with that.
Little one should see how the other half lives, though. See how the rogue's life really works. I'm interested in it myself, you know.
You know, you being a noble mate, you're probably gonna attract a lot of attention in there, which might make
Might
things quite easy, but also
might
make
not be a bad thing.
things a little difficult on the way out. Just saying.
Don't worry, they never notice me. And little one like curls around your neck, like kind of like droops there, almost like a like an ornament or something.
Like a scarf.
Yeah, like a little dragon
Yeah, yeah.
scarf, and he just
Oh
like
yeah.
goes completely like wet noodle and just like flops there like a
Nice.
like cloth.
And Zed'll kind of pop his collar up on his coat a little bit to just make it less assuming. And um maybe
And then he looks at
we don't.
Kozik, totally not stealthy, and gives like a thumbs up.
He's practically invisible.
What could go wrong, mate? He's gonna kind of like pat Kozik on the shoulder and then turn back around to face the alleyway that stretches back to this
And
building where we saw these individuals walk into.
and before we go back in there, I'm going to employ the noble's prerogative here. Let's see.
Oh, that is actually perfect. So, and it's very funny. Oh my God. I
It's
can't roll this
great.
shit up. So you go to pull, you
I
reach in for the
suspect.
perfume, and you can't find it.
I know
Like
it's here
look, like
somewhere.
if you look at your sheet, the number that used to be 1 is now set to
It's
0.
0. I was wondering how I was gonna tell what was like lost or what. Yeah. Well, I did have some eau de caverne that I was gonna put on. It never fails, but I it's here somewhere in my pack. Hmm.
So
Oh
feel
well.
free to give me
I'll
an
find it. Go ahead.
investigation, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, du Cavern. That is so cute. Mm.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't find it anywhere. You swore you had
Hmm.
it. It was right here when you
It's
left it.
it was in such a nice bottle too. Well, never mind for now. We'll have to rely on our wits alone.
Zed, Zed takes out his flask and very much like he's gonna take a swig of it, kind of look around a little bit and shrug, and then kind of like you would an old perfume bottle, you put your finger over the top, or like cologne bottle, and you tip it upside down just to get a little bit on your finger. He's gonna do that with whatever concoction is inside of his magical flask, and then just dab a little bit on like Kozik's neck. I got you. This is actually probably better than whatever you were gonna use.
Oh, I guess so. I mean, hey, it can't hurt, right? Well, holy water.
You're gonna be smelling like strong whiskey when we walk into the place, yeah.
Holy water. Oh, he pulled the
Nice.
one of the two things that got yoinked. That's hilarious. All right, so y'all's heading to the door that the dudes went into.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
All right, so you walk into this isolated, dark alley till you get to what the door that you saw the two guys outside of, and then go in. And it's just a nondescript, totally uninteresting door. It looks like it has like some like eye, what do they call, like the eye slit things in.
Oh, like a speakeasy sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Um I guess we'll get there. And we just saw, or at least from what we saw, it seemed like the other two just walked in.
Um.
Was
Yes.
was there an interaction that we noticed at the door, or did it just seem like they walked in?
Seemed like they just walked in.
Zed'll look around for a sec. And he'll look over at Kozik, kind of lean down and whisper, all right, so there's two ways that we could potentially play this. I could just try and walk in the fucking door, or we could pretend like we're from out of town. So if we're from out of town, then we might have to answer a little bit more question.
I think let's just try and walk in. Let's what is it? Ask questions later, beg for well, whatever it is.
You pretend that you've been there before, yeah? And as Zed says that,
Absolutely.
he's gonna stand straight up and he's gonna just open the door and walk in like he owns the place.
So you reach out to open the door, and it is locked.
Well, I guess maybe then we'll have to knock. We'll have to do it the hard way.
Zed's gonna turn around and kind of fold his arms and put his back against the door. And you kind of, Kozik probably sees Zed like contemplating something. Yeah. You know, it's probably better to knock. You got my back?
Absolutely.
He's gonna stand straight up, kind of posture a little bit. And he's gonna knock in a bit of a rhythmic fashion. It's kind of short, but it does seem like maybe the start of what would be a sea shanty, like kind of that sort of like back beat, like doom, doom.
So you knock, and you see the eye slits like slide open, and you see a pair of eyes looking out. What you want?
Who locked the door?
None of your business.
Fuck, this is none of my business. I'm meant to be here.
Yeah?
Who are you?
Who are
You don't
you?
know me.
And you don't need to know me. What you want?
I'm trying to get in. Obviously.
Sorry, residents are sleeping. And then the eye slits shut.
Well, that didn't work. I don't know. Should I give it a try?
That's gonna take a step back. Uh Obviously there's this front door. Are there windows or are there
Nope.
side doors or anything?
You notice that there are no side doors, there are no windows. This is almost like not, and it's not even like there are windows but they're covered up. There's just no windows. It's pretty much like a
Just a wall.
warehouse.
How tall is this building?
Yes.
I guess. Okay.
It is stacked.
And we're sure that we're pretty sure this is a house of gambling, right?
Arguably, yeah.
I think that's the impression, yeah. You see Zed's kind of like actively frustrated a little bit. It's as if they don't even want any coin.
Well, maybe let me
Right.
see if I can talk some sense into this young man here.
You give it a
And then
shot.
I do a little I rap on the door myself.
How big is this speakeasy? This is a very specific question.
The door looks like it's medium.
Well, like the speakeasy being this section that's being opened that we're communicating through. Can my mage hand fit through that? Is what I'm wondering.
So you would, so you, in order to do the mage hand, it has to be, you'd have to get it to be, it still has to be within line of sight. And if the dude's face is right there, probably not, because his face would be blocking being able to see behind him.
Well, so okay, my intention was to potentially slip the mage hand inside and open the door from the inside if that's possible. But I feel like Zed would also just try and pick the lock. So either way, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But yeah, Zed stepped back to let Kozik have
Oh well,
some
I mean,
space.
if you're gonna try to pick the lock, I didn't know. That's so bold. I didn't even consider that.
Well, that so yeah, when he had kind of put his back to the wall and been like, "There's multiple ways we can do this," he was thinking of picking the door, but he hasn't mentioned it out loud, and we've also knocked already, so it's like he's now
We
weighing, like if the door just opens, that might be adding some threat.
well, I'll just try and introduce myself.
All right.
Yeah, he might have thought that I just didn't have enough coin.
So you knock on the door.
Yeah, I definitely do.
So you knock and you see the eye slit like open, and you see a pair of eyes like looking around. Uh, must be another jokester. And then he shuts it.
Hey,
You realize he didn't even look down.
Zed rolls his eyes. "Ah, fucking hell!" And he gets down, kind of like comically from anyone walking back and forth outside, which is probably not too many people, but you just kind of see like a full-grown man on his hands and knees with a dwarf standing on his back, so that he's tall enough to be eye to eye with the speakeasy.
all right, let's try again then. Rappity rappity rap rap.
I swear, if this doesn't work out,
What is it with these kids messing around today? Eye slits open. What is it? What you want?
All right, all right. See here, I am Sir Kozik Deepshaft, a dwarf, envoy of the Dwarven Principalities. Perhaps you've heard of me. And we've come to gamble. We've come to spend some coin. I heard that this was the best place to do it.
I, sir, am a noble, and I am here to gamble in your shady and uncouth location.
It's what I said.
Yeah. Or that's how he interprets it. Yeah. Sounds like you're in the wrong bit of town to be gambling with anybody who would be gambling.
Oh no! I show him my signet ring. It looks pretty fancy.
Oh, well, looky there, your majesty. It would be wonderful to let you in, but you gotta know the password. And of course, someone of your stature would know the password, now wouldn't you?
Firstly, my man, what do you mean by stature? And secondly, I've just arrived from the mountains. I don't know the password.
Oh,
How am I meant to know the password?
and that's unfortunate. Maybe get to know
Unfortunate.
some people, and maybe they just might tell you. Maybe. If they don't take all your money.
Well, we just saw two young worthies go in there and We're hearing the clinking of coins. I think we're ready to spend some money, sir.
It's the
Is
sound
our
of us drinking. It's
Well, how about a
clearly
drink?
bottles. Well, what's the password, and we can get you right fit up there, your majesty?
Sir, I simply won't give up until you open this door right this minute.
Sorry. Oh, okay, that was good.
Was his coughing the response?
Nope, that was me. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Well, it's a great thing that you want to stand here all night. Here, let me help you with that. And then you see the eye slits like shut.
Hmm. I think we've rolled snake eyes, Mr. Thatcher.
Not completely. I
So,
mean, you've ascertained that there's some kind of a password.
yeah, we get asking around.
We
Zed's
just need to find
also
the right people. Yeah.
at this point. Zed's kind of perturbed with this individual specifically. So yeah, he'll stand up, brush himself off a little bit. Well, fuck, there's plenty of places to spend our coin anyway. And then probably put his arm around Kozik. Let's go check on the other ones.
A good idea, mate.
And kind of like as we're walking down the alley, he'll lean in. And if we're not able to find a way on there reasonably, well, I could probably get us in there by other means. Maybe later on when everyone's asleep.
Indeed. There's always a way in.
Your Majesty. So you start heading back, and the camera pans to the folks inside the house, who hopefully haven't fallen asleep yet. So you guys are let into Mirabelle's house, her homestead. It's cozy. It's nothing too extravagant. It's nothing too crazy as far as size goes. But it does seem like it's a little bit larger than the confines of the walls might convey. Um, but it's not like a sprawling field or a luxurious, it's not like a luxurious apartment. It's just a little bit bigger than you'd think it would be. Um, and inside there's varying degrees of adornments. Like there's like paintings on the walls, but the frames are made of like leaves and of like elven figures in poses. There's it doesn't look like anything is like opulent. It's just like maybe they got some cool pictures from somebody made in town kind of thing. They're definitely hand painted from who knows whoever from but varying degrees of artists. They've definitely interacted. I mean, they've been here for as they claim 70 years, so there's a lot of memorabilia of Kronossus in here. There's like a little statue, a tiny little statue that looks like a snake coiling around like a branch. Um, and even some small aspect of even the Feywild where you see like one of the paintings looks like the it's like a picture of like a hillside with a small little house on it, and currently the painting is like it's a nighttime scene, but if you look really closely it kind of seems like the time of day in the painting is slowly changing, kind of like time accelerant, but the painting is actually like active. You'd see like a snow globe or two here or there, little bits and pieces of probably home, bits and pieces of current home and previous home. Um, you see like a mannequin with like a bow, like a bow on its back, and like what looks like leather armor. Um, some fancy looking studded leather armor on. You know, probably like they hung up the old armor set, stuff like that. Just small bits and pieces of home. But the thing that drew you guys in here in the first place is the overwhelming aroma of the Fairy Bell pie, as it is undeniable and it is definitely in here. And you even see like a pie sitting on a table and it's still steaming hot. There's still like steam rising off of it right now. So you know it is fresh. And you're inside this
Hmm.
person's house.
Okay. Uh, I have to kind of get a little more awake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mirabelle, thank you so much for the kindness of letting us in your wonderful home. It's beautiful. So you've been here for the last 70 years? My goodness. As I
Yes.
said before, you did in fact. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Oh, she just said yes. She was agreeing with you.
What brought you to
What?
Kronossus?
Adventure? To travel someplace I've
Adventure.
never been. A place where, I guess, in terms of those who live here, a place where things are more stable. It's
Uh,
actually odd. Well, it was at first.
Yes. The mortal realms are very different from the wilds, are they not?
Indeed. I mean, you would know
Ugh.
that. Of course, wouldn't have to tell you twice.
Nope. But I'm lucky enough, I've also been traveling to the Underdark, and that's an even more interesting place.
I've heard of it.
Yes, have you heard any of the stories of it from elven brothers and sisters of what happened down there?
Only through tomes.
Oh? I imagine if you've heard much about vampires. Well, I did promise you I would say something about a little bit going on down there. So, King Oberon has allegedly lost his fucking gourd. Apologies for the rude language. He's murdered some of his closest guardsmen.
Oh, I wonder, did they betray him?
No. All that I know is that one day they were at home with their small child, their daughter, and he had them murdered in cold blood. Whether or not it was because they were becoming too popular, I have no idea.
Well, I was never very high in the court, so they never allowed me to learn any of the upper hierarchy's business.
No, same with me. More of a little girl on the outskirts, one might say. I've had much more luck here. It's still interesting to hear about from the outside. And then I come upon a new place run by some archfame named Miriam.
Oh, I've heard of her.
Yes? What do you think of her?
Hmm. She taps her chin, shifts like weight from like one leg to the other. Bold to challenge all the courts.
and the unseelie at the same time. But continue.
I mean, that seems. There's always someone vying for power in the wilds, yes. But if they're challenging all of them, then they must be pretty powerful.
Indeed, well liked, from what I saw at least.
But why challenge them in the first place? The wilds already had their leaderships. Everyone seems content to stay in their own lane, albeit sometimes there's an intersection and wars break out and the two sides clash. Why make a third?
Well,
Everything is set.
that's. I know. Well, that was my thought going in at least. But as it happens, from my understanding of it, talking with one of her little, what was her name? What was her position? I don't know. A little kobold named Tamara who worked underneath her. Allegedly, what's been going on is that people have been breaking off from both courts due to their tire of the last war between them.
Yes, I could see that.
And the wars have grown truly bizarre. As I said, if what I've heard is true about King Oberon killing on a whim, right? If your highest positions cannot trust you, what faith is there left in your court?
Or betrayal.
Betrayal. It was quite interesting seeing so many unseelie amongst, normal folk.
And they weren't eating people? And ripping their
No.
heads off? And sucking their blood out of
Mm-mm.
their skulls?
Nope. I attended during a festival time. I was helping Tamara, some people had gotten stuck on the other side of the mountain closer towards the unseelie courts. Have you heard any rumors of, and she leans in closely, her, and, tapping closely, you know, the
The,
former queen of the other court?
oh, the dark one?
Yes.
Um, and she leans in also. I heard last I was there that there was somebody who was challenging her, but not for a position, proof of strength.
Hmm.
And I
You
think they
don't
won.
know. They did. You don't know then. She was trapped. They won. They've put her somewhere in a ball of, like, a dark gem, as from what I know. A diamond.
Oh,
Allegedly, there are people working for her looking for her still. The rumor is, and she leans in again, got a little gossipy face on her now. The rumor is that she's here, somewhere in the mortal realm.
what would she want here? Last I heard,
No,
she had
they hid her gem here when they took her, when they won the war against her.
again
They hid her here.
a second time.
Yes. Hmm. They've hid her gem here, where they've hid her soul.
Give me a. That's gonna be persuasion or deception. Uh,
That's what I think my actual understanding of it is, unless I'm like
Okay.
really misunderstanding something.
Okay, so you're speaking what you know. So then that would be persuasion.
What? Yeah. I should have let deception run, but that's okay for me.
Last I was there, she was definitely freed from her imprisonment. So it happened a second time. I wonder if this third party put her back.
Ooh, that's very curious. Yes, I'm actually. And she, puts a hand over her chest. Apologies for it. I've worked closely with the warlock who is in her service trying to locate her. No longer, of course, no longer. I disavow. But she's still trapped. And I've seen their dark communications.
You've
Very strange, no
you've
doubt.
seen the Dark One personally?
Unfortunately, have you never worked with a warlock before?
She shakes her head.
Oof, aren't you so lucky? I mean, I am sort of glad that it is slightly more along the lines of one of them who works with one of us, right? There are those who work with devils, and still those of whom who work from the people beyond. Those are even more freaky. So at least I can understand a mortal working with an archfey. But the Dark Lady herself, very intimidating. Yes,
What about
he spoke her name for hmm?
what about the other one? Was she intimidating?
The Dark Lady.
No, the other one that
The
challenged her.
lady of the summer court. Oh, the one that challenged, right?
I don't know who challenged her. Or are you talking about Lady Miriam?
Is that her name?
What?
Lady Miriam said that she was not challenging any court, merely offering a safe haven for anyone who wanted to live with her. Pish posh, I say. No
So,
way an archfey wants to gather that much power without having some other agenda.
so then that would so if she's
Do you know something I don't?
well, if there's an archfey that is trying to be in the middle, that means either they're not very intelligent or they have something that the other archfey are not willing to fight them over. Why
My
wouldn't any of the
suspicion.
others two just go after her and eliminate that threat entirely?
Well, when I traveled through, I noticed two interesting inhabitants who were close with the archfey. And you can tell me an order of interest. A dragon and one of those eyed creatures. She like does little things pointing out of her head. What's the name for it? A beholder. I'd never seen one up close before.
Now that's a sight.
He was just running a shop, though. Very strange. And then
Well,
this dragon woman,
mm-hmm.
Sarissa, I believe her name was, who used to, I believe, work with the actual king of dragons himself. But, like I said, I don't know what other reason why they're not attacking her directly. Because, as I said, she was directly involved in escorting citizens of the Feywilds to her court from outside of it.
You can also give me a history check.
Mhm.
All right. Continue.
Middling. Niavara's like, she knows just enough to like be a fun gossip. That's at least her interpretation.
Well, whoever this Miriam is, they must be very strong for the other courts to not try to just wipe them out. They are a threat.
My thoughts exactly. My thoughts exactly. It was a rather large court, many Eladrin there, might I say. Mostly fall, from what I saw. Very interesting.
Wait, so you met this lady?
Hmm. As I said, I traveled directly through her lands.
Well, traveling through her lands and meeting an archfey themselves is two completely different worlds.
I'm an adventurer, I should say.
I too am an adventurer, but I never met Oberon himself.
I've not met Oberon. Ooh. Oh no. But Miriam, though, no. So, do you remember the boy who tried to speak with you? The I should not call him a boy. He's a man. Um, Human as he is. He ran into a particular issue where some sort of dark force was interfering in his mind, had some sort of attachment to him. And so he needed a more powerful figure than, well, what any of us could have offered him. And he didn't want to reach out to, I don't know, the Dark Lady to get such help either. And so the nearest any of us could suggest was an archfey. And
And
so he requested her help.
what did you have to sacrifice to get that help? They don't work for nothing. They give power freely.
Exactly. That was my fear too. I'm trying to remember, like out of character, I'm trying to remember what we had to do for her.
She asked
That
you
was
to
where we had
escort
to
some
go
people
do
to
the
her.
mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Are you talking about
that's what I
Miriam?
thought.
Yep, they're talking about
So
Miriam.
remember how I
Okay.
told you that I had to escort some people from the, uh, specifically from the Unseelie lands, right? Well, her captain, Tamara, needed some hands on deck to, do some fighting in case things turned sour because they'd gotten stuck. So we lent her our strengths. And in return, she assisted my friend Zedran.
Oh.
I was actually quite positively surprised that it was something so easily done.
Too easy.
Exactly. And then she's like, see, and that's actually my secret thing, my greater worry. And she pulls out from her bag Miriam's little sigil thing that she's not worn this whole time. She has around most of my compatriots' necks these little things. She says that they're offering her protection. But, as you well know, nothing comes freely.
You are revealing so much.
Gossip session. Enjoy your pie.
What if she's a shape changer? That
If
was
she is, this is a
OOC.
great double bluff. And that's also OOC.
So, are these willingly put around people's necks?
Yes, they would have to willingly wear them. Hence why it's been in my bag the entire time. My
That was for
concern is that
protection, though. She gave it to us for
exact.
protection.
Yes, yes, you can maybe believe that. Oh yes, my dear friend. Sorry, the child of the former guards of Oberon that I mentioned, formerly of the Summer Court.
And you did
No,
a
my
persuasion
father wasn't the
21.
guard. What's that?
Hmm?
I'm just looking at, so I'm rolling with the persuasion you had, so the 21.
So she is, much as just as familiar with the courts as we are.
So the
Hmm.
the woman walks up to Sari and a, maybe a little bit with some bias and judgment because this story has is convincing. With all due respect, what did your why would you betray Oberon to make him want to kill your people?
Nothing. As I said, she was a child, a girl.
Well, I had no idea that my folks betrayed him. That news came to me just recently. I thought we were. I thought he was our. Well, anyway, it was recent news for me. I didn't even know that
She
why they
didn't
would kill my father. That's something I'd like to know myself.
It's all very unbecoming of Lord Oberon.
As I said, he's gone mad.
They kind of shake their head a little
Wonder.
bit. No, there's got to be something else. It doesn't make any sense.
It
Like
doesn't,
you're
does
very
it?
convincing, but there is still like you know she is of the courts. She left the courts, with permission, and so there's definitely some some experience there that a tough pill to swallow kind of situation. So she's still leaning towards like Oberon couldn't have done
Believing
that. That
him.
doesn't make any sense. You're very convincing, but there's just something like so ingrained that there's like you're not completely flipping them, but they're also like there's definitely an internal quarrel right now.
Well, Miss Mirabelle, I understand you're not believing. I barely believe it myself. I didn't find out until recently that Oberon had killed my father and my
Because
mentor.
Sari's served him herself.
Well, not really, but my family, my father did at one point. He did.
I don't know. This is
It's
this
too
doesn't make
much.
sense to me.
That's
It doesn't.
crazy. It doesn't. It's not right. That makes no
Well, that's part.
sense.
I'd hoped that you might have more clues to it. So we continue the search, sorry, for answers.
All right.
The
Well,
other suspicion, and she leans in a little closer, once again, getting a little. What if someone had been like trying to imitate his assassins? Stir up, I don't know, a little bit of discontent amongst even his most loyal followers. Could that such a thing have happened?
well, it's the Feywild. You know that could have happened. It might not have been Oberon at all, but when I
Someone
learned of it,
imitating him.
when I learned of it though, when the I think it was Who
The
was it that
vision.
showed me the vision of I can't remember now who showed me, but the vision I saw, I thought it was somebody else and it was revealed to be Oberon. I thought somebody else
Mm.
entirely had killed my father, but then it was revealed to be Oberon in the vision that I saw. So I didn't actually, anyway, I can't remember who showed me the vision, but it seemed it seemed right. It felt right. It felt true, even though I didn't want it to be.
If what you're saying is true, then that means the Seelie court is no different than the Unseelie.
Well, that's what's making me crazy. Can't think that way. Can you? It's not right. There's supposed to be a difference. The Sealy court is supposed to have, I don't know, just stand a little more for something. But yeah, it's very disturbing. That's very disturbing. I'm sorry we've brought this disturbing news to you. It's it's not pleasant.
Well, if these two factions become different from each other, then this Miriam,
The third faction would exist. And, makes more sense as to why she would come into power.
and as this thought comes to fruition, there's probably a knocking on the door, and Mirabelle jumps for a second. Just, all this is kind of a lot
Mhm.
to grasp, and then just suddenly a knock on the door. Oh,
Oh my, I'm so sorry for taking up so much of your time. Do you have guests coming?
no, not that I know of. And she gets up and pretty much does the same thing, and then sees a couple of folks outside. Oh, Dad, do you want me to let them in? I think these were the
Uh,
two with you.
Oh, the dwarf and the human.
She nods.
I see no harm if they want to come in now, if you are willing to be so hospitable.
Well, you're not vampires, so
Jury's still out on the dwarf. That's a joke that I know you can't understand, but I spent too much time in the Underdark.
Veldrin
We
holds up
have
a finger.
hmm?
The
Belle.
eyes. The eyes.
Oh, would you like me to explain that? While we're, in relative silence. And, in like quick undercommon, she'll explain to Veldrin. Well, as it turns out, someone was looked like thieves of a thieves guild, talking about how we looked like a bunch of noble people, specifically me, and probably Kozik as well.
I know. We should
So,
make sure they're not shape changers.
hmm. And she'll turn to Mirabelle and look at her. So you mentioned vampires. What about shape changers? Does the town have a history of them?
yes, I've
Uh,
met a changeling and a shifter and a person that turned themselves into a house cat.
A druid.
Is that yes?
How
What
fun.
makes what makes you so worried for vampires, Mirabelle? Have you seen some hereabouts? Have you had some trouble with them?
So she quickly like ushers Kozik and Zed in, and then like closes and locks the door, and then goes over to like what looks like a little bookshelf, and then just comes out and puts a book on the table, and it looks like as you look at the it's written in common, um, but it looks like fanfic about vampires.
Mirabelle,
Is the
my
title
dear.
Supernatural?
It's unnatural.
Um, as I guess as the door opens, you probably see Kozik standing in front of Zed, and um, I we didn't get into any trouble. I promise. As he kind of
Oh, that is that right? You
as he
didn't
as
get
he
into any trouble.
not at all.
That's
As
the
he
first
step
thing you're going to tell us. Well,
as he
then you
steps
definitely got into some trouble.
as he steps in, and
Much
I guess
trouble.
the doors maybe getting closed behind him. Um, he's gonna kind of glance over to Niavara, who I'm assuming is still in the disguise of Inanna.
Mhm.
Yes.
And first thing he's gonna say is, "Aye, so we didn't share any secrets, did we?"
Oh, I'm telling you, this she's been talking up a storm. This one,
That is in Thieves' Camp.
everything you might
I
want to know about the Feywild,
am having a
secrets of the
wonderful
Feywild.
time. Re Do you know how long it has been since I have talked to another Eladrin? In good detail, the ones who were working for Miriam's court were very hoity-toity, I'll have you know, even by my great standards. So I've had some fun, yes. A little bit of
Are you
gossip about the
are
court.
you
So
responding in
what?
Thieves' Camp or
Oh,
No, she's
she's
talking
talking
straight
like
out. She's
like
no?
like,
if
So
no,
Zed conveyed this to Niavara specifically in Thieves' Camp, to where he didn't just walk in the room and say, "Hey, you didn't share secrets, did you?" He,
oh, okay.
oh,
like, but he looked at Niavara and is like, "We had this conversation before I left. We've got to stay below the radar, right? So let's be careful who we talk to." And then he walks in, and the first thing he says, he looks at Niavara, and in Thieves' Cant, in this sort of kind of
oh.
almost gestures and things, he was like, you didn't share anything, did you?" Because
And that she's just gonna like, do a little dismissive way of like nothing important.
You'd also notice
and
little one
so
draped over Zed's shoulders like a wet noodle.
yeah, little one almost looks like a scarf, like very incognito. But yeah, he'll take your word for it and just kind of shrug. And uh it seems like Kozik and Zed walked in kind of mid conversation, so uh if there's a chair available, Zed might sit down. If not, he'll probably just lean up against the wall and just pick up
There's
on
there's like a couch
what's
and a
being
couple
put down.
chairs. They definitely seem
he'll,
like they
he'll
live
probably
alone.
he'll probably stand near the door and just kind of like, back up against the wall, um kind of out of the conversation, but still listening as we had just walked in.
Mhm. Lady Inanna will take a look at the book and then look up to Mirabelle and go, "My dear, you do know this is a fiction novel, yes?"
Well, supernatural creatures are fiction. Someone's mind. The Feywild. They've made what are they called? Stories about us, and they're not necessarily true, but they're mired in truth.
It's true. I've
Yes.
seen their fiction books all about the Fae, and they're not correct. But we do exist, even though they think we're fiction.
Well, what is that exactly is your great fear of vampire? Like, so to be
Give
clear,
me give me an
I'm not going
insight
to say
check.
don't don't be afraid of a vampire because you should be. They are a terrifying creature to have to deal with.
So with that, natural 20s, we're gonna draw the session to a little bit of a close because we're getting that late. and we started late because of technical issues. So with that natural 20, she is definitely afraid of vampires for like, what they can do to you, but she's also there's a part of like her demeanor that's also kind of into vampires for what they can do to you.
Ah,
Uh, so I and
Miss
the
Mirabelle.
in the
Oh, sorry.
modern day context, Asterion and what the internet has about him, that's her equivalent.
My gosh. Who is this Tedward Collin? That's the protagonist of this book.
Well,
Team Tedward.
That's great.
and as you start asking about, you know, the tome of fanfic, we'll wrap up the session as she
Oh, I
goes into
have to ask her
detail.
one more thing though.
All right.
Miss Mirabelle, Miss Mirabelle, I must ask, and please, please forgive my straightforwardness, but might I have a piece of your fairy bill pie?
Yeah, yeah, sure. It's not a lot of people that I'd serve this to, and we
I
can take
most
some time
appreciate it.
to partake of it while I put this away. And she like nervously takes the tome and puts it back on the bookshelf.
I was almost picturing I was almost picturing the opposite. Like we all got served these uh fresh pastries, and it was just kind of camera zoomed into the fireplace as Mirabelle starts story time. She opens her book. Oh, all right, well, chapter 2. And it's just us
Right.
sitting around the fire, just
Listening to the fanfic.
yeah,
That's
being
good.
like, okay, cool. Or half of us probably are like, mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, one of you know her deal with vampires, so
One of us know her deal with vampires?
yep.
That it's like, a plus negative. All right.
Nope. Well, that was a
Fun
good
session.
first day in Kronossus.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank you. Thank
Nice. No bar
you.
fights yet, but next
Not
time
yet.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, probably.
Yeah.
Soon,
Thank
soon.
Zed's
you.
got some ideas to make some money as well.
Oh, I bet he
Yeah,
does.
we'll do it. Okay, right on. Thanks, guys.
Established
Yeah,
rapport.
y'all take care.
All right.
Yep.
Take care, friends. Bye.
GG.
Take care. Bye.
Alrighty. So that's where we will end here. So, with that, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's been jawsome. Um, for those of you on the Ubles Toobles, and I guess those of you on the not Ubles Toobles, uh, we do this every Tuesday at 7:30, or we try to. Sometimes it's 10 minutes late. Sometimes it's 20 or 30 minutes late because for whatever reason, Foundry decided to not work with certain browsers. Um, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, so like I said, we do this Tuesday. We try to do 7:30. Um, and for those of you on the YouTube, we do this over on Twitch, Twitch TV/cubed222. I also do a variety. I'm a variety streamer. So we play a lot of games also. Um, and my typical schedule's Monday. I stream every day of the every weekday and sometimes weekends. But yeah, other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you. And perhaps we shall meet each other again soon. But until that soon comes to fruition, I will wish you all and bid you all a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, adventurer, fare thee well.